So I've been playing a lot of Silksong recently, trying to uncover all the secrets, exploring every area, just playing the game to have fun. And during this, I unfortunately stumbled across this place called BILEWATER. Now a fun fact about BILEWATER is it is the worst area in the entire game, and it's not even close. There are so many reasons to hate this area, and I will be going through each one specifically, just so you can understand how much I hate this shitty area. This area sucks just for no reason and no reward, and I want to highlight what sucks so much about it. And this video is not just so I can vent, even though it might seem like it. I want this video to serve as a warning or just entertainment for you watching me tweak. And with that all being said, let's get straight into it. The first thing I want to talk about is the poo water. And yes, I'm calling it that. Great, I'm 5 seconds into this fucking area and I'm already swimming in shit. BILEWATER introduces a new mechanic that I call the poo water. If you fall into the poo water, it takes over your silk and it slowly gets rid of it one by one. To get rid of the poo water like virus thingy, I don't know. You have to heal, and then when you heal, it doesn't even heal you. It only gets rid of the poo virus. So it sucks. To be honest, it's not the mechanic itself that sucks, it just meshes so well with everything else in this area that it just gets annoying. And it also sucks that 90% of the area are platforms that disappear. So you're going to be platforming the entire time and you're going to want to die. And if you don't want to die, then you'll die anyway, because this area sucks. There's also certain areas of the map that force you into the poo water, or like there's secrets hidden behind the poo water, and while I was going through this area, I couldn't resist checking every corner of the map, so I would just dive head first into the poo water just to see if there was any secrets down there. And there was most of the time never any secrets, and it just made me really sad. Again, the poo water mechanic itself isn't really bad, but because it's in BILEWATER, I hate it and it's super annoying. The next shitty part of this area is the enemies. Why do you hate the enemies, Spilly? Oh, maybe because they're the most annoying fucking creatures in the entire game? Oh, okay, cool. So he just rails me and then fucking runs away? I don't really like any enemy in this area, but there's two specifically that just suck so bad. And if you've been in BILEWATER, you know exactly who I'm talking about. These two enemies you see in front of you are the absolute worst in the entire game. And it's good to know I'm not the only one that thinks so. Fighting these enemies is low-key worse than the electric chair. If you came up to me and said, "Oh hey Spilly, I have $1 million for you, but you have to fight like 5 of these guys," I'd be like, "F no, that's torture." Every single mechanic of these enemies is just made to get you angry. They infinitely pop up out of nowhere, and it's not the same every time you go in BILEWATER. They shoot these annoying little spears at you that are hard to dodge and you can't deflect them. They then jump around like a bunch of fucking toddlers at a Fortnite-themed birthday party, and they jump away from you. And then the funny part, the cherry on top, is once they've done all that and railed you, they decide, I don't want to do this no more, and they just fucking leave. Now this may sound really funny, but it's not. These enemies are just straight up robbing me and leaving. And this is only one of the enemies in this area. The other bird-looking thingy is the exact same as this guy, except he floats higher in the air. Which for some reason makes him easier to fight. I don't know. And along with these two enemies, why did they have to make everything explode? Like, that enemy explodes, that enemy explodes, this one does 2 damage, this one's annoying as f***. Like, just... They had to have been making the area, and we're just like, let's give it annoying enemies, exploding enemies, and who gives a fuck because this area sucks anyway. Also, some enemies just respawn. Like, why would they do that? That's not something other enemies do. Why would... It's... I can't even speak. I'm speechless. And I'm not even going to talk about these guys. These guys are just... If you're curious, look them up. But they can just go do anything else. I'm not bothering with them. The next thing I want to bring up is the contents of the area. Wait, so you're telling me out of this big ass area that's made up of 90% poo water, there's only 3 benches? When I'm talking about the contents of the area, I mean like the items as well as interactables such as like benches. For this area being so rage-inducing, it really has no good items to make up for it. You'd think, oh, this area is very difficult and annoying. Maybe it'll give me something good. And it just doesn't. It just doesn't. The best this area has to give you is like a mass shard, which isn't bad, but really? That's all you have for me? Most areas, especially difficult ones like BILEWATER, have some sort of really good item like at the end of it. It could be like a cool new attack, it could be like a new movement ability or something, and BILEWATER just has none of that. There is a really good item called the Key of Apostate, which you need to go through BILEWATER to get, but it's not even in BILEWATER, it's in the area right above it. You could bring up the Seeker's Soul and how it's important, but it's not necessary for the base game. It's used to get to Act 3, which is an extra secret part of the game, so most players won't even be using it. So essentially, you're running through BILEWATER for literally no reason. There is nothing valuable here. Or rather, there's nothing that makes up for just what this area does to you. It's easy to overlook an area if there's something that makes up for the difficulty. But there's just nothing in BILEWATER that does that. And while we're on the topic of running around the area, you have to explore this whole area with so little benches. Benches are so important for any area, and BILEWATER just smacks you in the face with its little amount. And to make the lack of benches even better, they decided to add a fake bench. After this happened to me, it took literally every ounce of will I had to not start breaking everything in my dorm room. Why in the actual fuck would they do this? Why would they add a fake bench in this already benchless area? The developers even gave the fake bench a sign that points to it, so you get some relief that is just instantly taken away right as you sit down. And to add on to your already shitty mood, they drop you straight into fucking poo water. Oh my gosh. I don't know who thought it was funny to do this to this area, but whoever did, I curse you for life. I'll talk more about the benches in a little bit because it ties into the next problem, which is this arena. This arena is super annoying. It forces you through 5 waves of enemies and then you have to fight a boss after. And if you die at any point, you have to restart the entire arena, meaning you have to go through the waves of enemies and the boss fight again. This arena couldn't be further from easy. All the waves and the boss just overwhelm you and you just end up dying. And you have to focus on platforming because there's poo water in the arena. And with all that being said, that's still not my issue with the arena. I get it, some arenas are going to be difficult. I think that's a cool aspect of the game that pushes me to get better. The problem I have with the arena is that the run back is literally worse than running barefoot in glass. But Spilly, that bench up there looks really close to the arena. What about that one? Nope, that one only spawns after you complete the arena. Okay, well, what about that one down there? That one's not that far. Nope. That one's a secret bench that I shit you not, I found while recording for this video. So with both those benches being gone, which bench did I have to spawn at? Maybe the one that was across the entire map. Each time I died in this arena, I would have to spawn all the way back here and run all the way across BILEWATER back to the arena. And can you guess what I saw on my journey back to the arena? All these fuck-ass enemies as well as booby traps, cause why not? Why not make the area even worse? The run back just made the arena so much worse, and it just wasn't fun. I also had to run back while being super careful because if I died again, I would lose all my money. And I lost all my money because I fucking died again. I would quite literally do anything else in this game other than this run back because I just did it so many times. I can't stress enough how much this arena sucks. It just wasn't fun. This arena was literally the worst experience I had in the entire game. And for that, it can go f itself. Now, everything I just talked about could be overlooked. Maybe not the arena, but everything else. But there's one last thing that I could never overlook because it is the worst part of the entire area. And I'm talking about this fucking baby. If you think that is a normal baby, you are wrong. That is the monster in my closet that I'm horrified of. That baby is called the Twisted Bud, and it is the worst part of BILEWATER. He'll be in his own little secluded off area, and for some reason we see him and we just decide, oh, let's take him with us. And this is the worst thing you could have done. While he's in your inventory, he will constantly cry, and you will hear it every single time you open your inventory. You even hear him when you're on different pages of your inventory, as well as when you hold out the map in-game. This little fucker is just so annoying, and I hate him so much. It probably doesn't sound annoying at first, but when you hear it for the 500th millionth time, you just want to pull the baby out of your inventory and just drop kick it. And it doesn't tell you what to do with it, so you're either stuck with it or you have to look up what to do with it. And I chose the first one because I just didn't want to look it up. So I was stuck with this baby for so long, and I got so annoyed of it that I looked it up and got rid of it. And guess what it does? It fucking curses you. The baby curses you. I didn't think it could get any worse than just annoying ass crying, but no, it does, because it literally curses you. Once you get rid of it, it forces you to use the new crest, and it locks you out of healing. Then you have to go on a whole ass quest line just to get rid of the curse, and guess what you get? The crest. Which, to be honest, I don't even think is that good. So in return for putting up with the baby's bullshit, you get a new crest which you don't know how to use, no healing, and since you're bound to the new crest, you also can't use items. Well, okay, just fuck me then. I hate this baby with my entire soul, and he is the worst part of BILEWATER. And that is the end. All that is why I think BILEWATER is the worst area in the game. And hey, if you disagree, that's fine. But if you want to say why, the comments are open and I see pretty much every single comment. Now, what do I think we do to change BILEWATER? I don't know. Probably nothing. I say we just delete it from the game. And that is my honest opinion. Thank you all for watching to the end. I really, really appreciate it. And with that all being said, that's all for me for now. Later.